Most men don't struggle with talking to women because they lack confidence. They struggle because they are terrified of being seen. And the moment a woman looks into their eyes, they stop being real, they perform, they impress, they chase approval. They become boring, not because they have nothing to say, but because they abandon themselves trying to become someone likable, and deep down women can feel it instantly. Marcus Aurelius once wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Marcus Aurelius, think about that for a second. If your mind is full of fear, neediness, comparison, desperation, then every word you speak carries that energy. Even if your sentences sound perfect, because attraction is not created by words alone, is created by presence. And most men today have lost their presence. Completely, they scroll too much, think too much, seek validation too much, and when they finally stand in front of a beautiful woman, they panic inside their own mind. What if she rejects me? What if I sound stupid? What if she loses interest? So they talk endlessly to avoid silence. They fake confidence. They tell stories that mean nothing. They become entertainers instead of grounded men. And that is exactly why this video matters. Because by the end of this, you're going to understand the 10 Marcus Aurelius suggestions that can completely change the way you speak, connect, and carry yourself around women. Not through manipulation, not through cheesy pickup lines, but through emotional discipline, self-respect, and a calm masculine presence that most people have never experienced before. So subscribe to the channel, like this video, and stay until the end, because the final lesson is the one most men discover too late. And once you understand it, you'll never speak to women the same way again. The first suggestion from Marcus Aurelius is this: stop trying to impress people. That single habit destroys more attraction than almost anything else. Have you ever noticed how nervous men suddenly become around attractive women? Their voice changes. Their posture changes. Their personality changes. Why? Because they stop seeing her as a human being and start seeing her as a judge. Suddenly, every sentence becomes an audition, and women can feel that pressure immediately. A man who constantly tries to impress communicates one thing without realizing it. I don't believe I'm enough. That energy is loud. Marcus Aurelius believed that a man should not waste his life chasing the opinions of others, because the opinions of others are unstable by nature. One moment they admire you, the next moment they forget you entirely. So why build your identity around approval? The strongest men are not trying to win everyone over. They are simply present, calm, grounded, comfortable in their own skin, and ironically, that is what makes them magnetic. Because confidence is not loud. Real confidence is silent. The second suggestion is this: learn to become comfortable with silence. This one changes everything. Most men are terrified of silence during conversations with women. The second things become quiet. Panic enters their body, so they rush to fill the space with meaningless words. But silence is powerful. Silence reveals emotional control. When you can sit calmly in silence without needing to entertain, without needing to prove yourself, you communicate strength. Think about the men who truly leave an impression. They are not usually the loudest people in the room. They speak slowly, clearly, intentionally. Their words carry weight because they are not desperate to be heard. Marcus Aurelius spent years mastering inner stillness because he understood something modern men forgot. Restless mind creates a restless presence, and women notice that instantly. You do not need to speak nonstop to create attraction. Sometimes the strongest moment in a conversation is the moment you stay calm enough to let silence breathe. The third suggestion is brutal. Stop making women the center of your life. This does not mean become cold or emotionless. It means stop abandoning your purpose for attention. Too many men lose themselves chasing validation from women. They neglect their goals, their discipline, their self-respect. And the strange part is, the more desperately a man chases attention, the less attractive he becomes, because neediness always leaks through. Marcus Aurelius believed that a man should wake up every day focused on becoming better than he was yesterday, not obsessed with controlling how others feel about him. A woman should add peace to your life, not become your entire identity. and women deeply. Respect men who already have direction. A man with purpose speaks differently, moves differently. He doesn't beg for attention because his life already has meaning beyond romance. And that emotional independence is rare today. The fourth suggestion is something most men avoid completely. Tell the truth, not the polished version. Not the performance, the truth. You know what makes conversations boring? Fake energy. Pretending to be cooler than you are. Pretending not to care. Pretending to agree with everything she says just to stay liked. That creates shallow connection. But honesty creates tension, emotion, depth. When a man speaks honestly without fear of rejection, his words suddenly feel alive, because authenticity is becoming rare. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself to live in accordance with truth, even when it was uncomfortable. And this matters deeply when talking to women. Stop saying what you think sounds attractive. Say what you actually believe. You'd be shocked how powerful honesty becomes in a world full of performance. The fifth suggestion is dangerous, because once you understand it, you start seeing it everywhere. Desperation makes people predictable, and predictability kills attraction. Most men say the same things, behave the same way, react the same way. A woman takes hours to reply. They panic. She pulls away slightly. They chase harder. She gives attention. They become addicted instantly. That emotional dependency creates weakness. Stoicism teaches emotional control, not emotional suppression, control. There's a difference. Marcus Aurelius understood that external events should not control your inner state. And modern dating exposes exactly where men lack discipline. If your mood depends on whether someone texts you back, you are emotionally trapped. But when you remain steady regardless of external validation, you become emotionally free, and freedom changes your entire presence. The sixth suggestion is one of the hardest lessons for lonely men. Stop fearing rejection, because rejection is not destruction, it is redirection. Most men carry invisible emotional wounds from rejection. One embarrassing moment in school, one heartbreak, one cold response, and years later, they still approach women with fear inside them. But Marcus Aurelius constantly reflected on mortality, not to become depressed, but to remember how short life truly is. And when you deeply understand that life is temporary, you stop wasting years fearing small moments of discomfort. Think about how many opportunities men destroy simply because they were scared to speak honestly, scared to approach, scared to express interest, scared to risk rejection. And in trying to protect their ego, they slowly destroy their confidence anyway. Because avoidance creates weakness. Action creates growth. The seventh suggestion might offend some people. Good, stop trying to be nice all the time. Because many men confuse kindness with weakness. A truly kind man has boundaries, standards, self-respect. But insecure men become overly agreeable because they fear losing approval. They apologize constantly, hide their opinions, tolerate disrespect, and eventually they become invisible. Marcus Aurelius believed virtue mattered deeply, but virtue was never weakness. A disciplined man remains respectful without becoming submissive. That balance matters. Women are not looking for robots who obey every emotional impulse. They are drawn to emotional stability, a man who can stay calm under pressure, speak honestly, disagree respectfully, and still remain grounded. That energy feels safe. Not weak, safe. There's a massive difference. The eighth suggestion is subtle, but incredibly powerful. Learn to listen. Actually listen. Most conversations today are two people waiting for their turn to speak. Nobody is fully present anymore. And when men talk to women, they often become so focused on what to say next that they stop paying attention completely. But deep listening creates emotional connection faster than clever words ever will. Marcus Aurelius practiced observation constantly. He studied human behavior, human emotion, human weakness, because wisdom begins with attention. And when a woman feels genuinely heard, without interruption, without performance, without hidden agendas, she relaxes, because real attention has become rare. And here's the truth nobody says out loud. People are starving for presence. Not perfection, presence. The ninth suggestion is where masculine energy truly changes. Control your emotions before they control you. Most men think attraction is built through confidence alone, but emotional discipline matters far more. Can you remain calm when ignored? Calm under pressure? Calm during uncertainty? Or do you become reactive immediately? Modern men are emotionally impulsive. They text emotionally, speak emotionally, react emotionally, and every emotional overreaction slowly weakens attraction. Marcus Aurelius wrote endlessly about mastering the inner world because he knew external chaos never stops. Dating chaos never stops either. Mixed signals, confusion, temptation, ego, attachment. If you cannot control your emotions will control your relationships. And eventually, they will control your life. The final suggestion is the one that changes everything. Become a man you actually respect. Not a character. Not an image. A real man you can admire privately. Because deep down, most men already know why they feel insecure around women. It's not just fear of rejection. It's disappointment in themselves. They know they abandoned discipline, abandoned growth, abandoned purpose, and no amount of charm can permanently hide that feeling. Marcus Aurelius believed self-respect came from living with integrity, keeping your word, controlling your mind, doing difficult things consistently. That is where true confidence comes from, not fake alpha behavior, not manipulation, not pretending not to care. Real confidence is earned internally, and once you begin respecting yourself deeply, your entire energy changes around women. You stop chasing, stop performing, stop begging to be chosen, because your self-worth is no longer sitting in someone else's hands. And strangely, that is when people begin noticing you the most, not because you became louder, but because you became real. At the end of the day, women are not searching for perfect men. They are searching for emotional safety, authenticity, strength without arrogance, presence without desperation, and those qualities are becoming rare in a distracted world. Marcus Aurelius understood something timeless. A disciplined mind creates a powerful life. Not overnight, not magically, but slowly, silently, and the men who master themselves eventually stop needing validation from everyone else. That is the real transformation. Not learning tricks to attract women. Learning how to stop abandoning yourself the moment attraction enters the room. Because the moment you become fully comfortable being yourself, you stop being boring. You become unforgettable. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.